Hey, adrenaline junkies. Welcome to Mind Rush. Get ready to dive into heart-pounding chases, jaw-dropping action, and the most thrilling moments caught on camera. Let's get your heart racing. On July 10, 2025, in Orlando, Florida, troopers spotted a gray Mercedes GLC flying down SR 408 at 92 miles per hour in a 60. With its windows tinted darker than a cave at midnight, the car drew attention fast. When the trooper lit up the blues and siren, the driver, later identified as Darius Lowe, decided stopping wasn't on his to-do list. Instead, he stomped the gas, kicking off a dangerous high-speed pursuit.
Utility vehicle 2020 model expires 10/31 of 25 and 6/4 on 29. So thanks for depth part of bearing location on my car.
Lowe weaved through traffic like he was trying to qualify for a video game bonus round, passing on shoulders, cutting off cars, and pushing the speedometer all the way to 135 miles per hour. Every move risked turning SR 408 into a scrapyard, and troopers knew this one needed to end quick.
Traffic over, proceeding in progress. Hold on, Mario. Go when he stops. Definitely single 4 at Pine. Alright, get ready for phone call. 54 pointed if you can. Hold on, Mario. Hold on.
The chase ended when Lowe clipped the median, slowing the Mercedes enough for a PIT maneuver to pin him against the guardrail. He tried running on foot, but it didn't last long. Moments later, he was in cuffs. A search turned up fentanyl pills, stacks of cash, totaling nearly $3,900, and a fake Glock torch lighter inside the car, along with marijuana tucked in the console. Darius Lowe was charged with fleeing and eluding law enforcement possession of fentanyl, with intent to distribute. Possession of marijuana, driving on inmate release, status, reckless driving, speeding, and traffic violations. From blasting down SR 408 at 135 to tossing fentanyl by a tree, Lowe went from fast lane to holding cell in record time. Already on release for fleeing police once before, this rerun ended the same way, in custody with a longer rap sheet than he started with. In the early morning hours of September 27, 2022, troopers working traffic control along Georgia 204 spotted a stolen gold Mercedes C23 rolling into a construction zone. When deputies tried to pull it over, the driver ignored commands and instead pressed down on the gas, passing a pilot car inside the work zone and sparking a dangerous pursuit.
Yeah, we're still going.
With speeds topping 100 miles per hour in a 55 zone, the Mercedes weaved down the highway, brake-checking troopers and forcing them to slam on their ABS systems to avoid collisions. Inside were 3 occupants, a female driver and 2 male passengers. Stop sticks failed to bring the chase to a halt, leaving troopers to stay on the suspect's bumper as she pushed recklessly ahead, showing no regard for traffic or safety. With the suspects driving becoming more dangerous by the minute, troopers used multiple pit maneuvers to stop the car. The rear passenger bolted into the woods, while the driver and front passenger tried to flee on foot. The driver didn't make it far. A quick takedown brought her into custody, while the others slipped away. The driver, identified as Melissa Smith, was charged with felony fleeing and eluding theft by receiving stolen property, possession of methamphetamine, driving under the influence. Drugs. Possession of drug-related objects. Multiple traffic offenses. What started with a stolen Mercedes in a construction zone ended with a wrecked car, a messy foot chase, and a driver in handcuffs. Deputies weren't buying the wild stories she spun afterward, and with meth, needles, and warrants all in play, her excuses ran out as fast as the Mercedes did. On June 28, 2025, a Pleasant Prairie officer tried to stop a driver for a simple stop sign violation. Instead of pulling over, the driver hit the gas and led officers on a pursuit that topped 100 miles per hour, crossing into Illinois.
Good sticks, southbound from 95th, right tires. Starting to deflate here. I'm gonna try to get in front, slow down. Box again.
Officers deployed stop sticks multiple times, and while the first attempts failed, the chase stayed hot and dangerous. At one point, the suspect even hit several squad cars before pushing on.
Contact. 2-9 intentional contact. 2 squads have been hit. We need to end this. Two-9 stopped here.
This is the Pleasant Prairie Police. All occupants of the Honda Civic, you are under arrest. You disobey our commands, the police dogs will bite you. Do you understand?
Anyone else in the car? No, just me. Keep coming back. Drop to your knees.
Finally, a successful tire deflation brought the car to a halt, and officers boxed the driver in. He was taken into custody without further incident. The suspect was charged with felony fleeing, eluding 5 counts of first-degree reckless endangering safety, hit-and-run possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, OWI, multiple traffic citations. One ignored stop sign turned into a multi-agency pursuit and a whole lot of charges. On June 9, 2025, deputies in DeSoto County tried to stop a black Dodge Ram on Highway 70. The truck wasn't just any pickup. Investigators had been tracking it for weeks, suspecting it was tied to the theft of a $98,000 skid steer. Behind the wheel was Yam B. Pereira Nunez, a convicted felon with an expired license, and deputies weren't about to let him slip away.
Secondly, make that turn.
Number 2. 1020.
He recovered back. It's going westbound on 731.
10-4, vehicle recovered back, going westbound on 731.
Hit it again, Zach. Don't do that again. Speed 75 miles an hour.
Speed 75 miles per hour.
Zach, back off of it.
Instead of stopping, Nunez floored it. The Ram tore down Highway 70, hauling heavy equipment while weaving dangerously through traffic. The Florida Highway Patrol joined in, and what began as an equipment theft investigation was now a full-blown pursuit. At speeds like this, every turn of the wheel could have spelled disaster.
Set up at the county line, just 14.
10-4. Zach, is that your tire or is that his? Zach, we're going to be coming up to another intersection that's going to be a hard left. Just be prepared.
1867.
You got a car coming, is it? What are you doing?
We also for the next 2 units. We'll get the vehicle before we get out.
Hit it. Signal 4, roll with EMS. Hit it.
Troopers moved in for a PIT maneuver. The Ram spun, lost control, and rolled violently. When the dust settled, the vehicle was destroyed and the chase was over. Nunez did not survive the crash. Charges, if he had lived. Had Yam Nunez survived, he would have faced grand theft, $98,000 skid steer. Grand theft of a motor vehicle, Dodge Ram. Fleeing to elude law enforcement. High-speed pursuit. Driving with expired suspended license, possession of stolen property. Reckless driving, endangering life and property. What began as the theft of a skid steer turned into a full-throttle pursuit that ended in tragedy. For investigators, the stolen property was recovered, but for Nunez, his long criminal record came to a final stop on Highway 70. On June 8, 2025, troopers in Lee County got several calls about a red Ford F-150 swerving all over I-75 near mile marker 123. Drivers said it was bouncing across lanes and even creeping onto the shoulder. Trooper Mates de Oca quickly spotted the truck near mile marker 127 and tried to pull it over. Instead of stopping, the driver hit the gas and the chase was on.
She's stopping on the Vontae.
Vehicles now headed back westbound on the shoulder.
The F-150 barreled through Daniels Parkway and 6 Mile Cypress Parkway at 90 miles per hour in a 50 zone, swerving, cutting lanes, and even hopping onto grass shoulders and sidewalks. Multiple PIT maneuvers were attempted, but the driver seemed determined to turn the truck into a rodeo show. Troopers stayed tight, waiting for the right opening to shut it down.
6 miles speed 90. Says 54 response. And tell them to get a helicopter road. 26. Good to know they have our back.
Signal 4, signal 4, signal 4. Signal 4, 1050.
No, they have our back. Signal 4, signal 4, signal 4. Signal 4, 1050.
Fucking ass down! Get out! What that gun for? Raise your fucking ass down! Get out!
They have our back. Signal 4, signal 4, signal 4. Signal 4, 1050.
Get out! Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Out!
94 here now.
Get out! Get out!
I got taser, I got taser.
Get out!
I got taser.
Car!
That chance finally came when troopers boxed in the truck, bringing it to a stop. The driver, Christina Slitter, climbed out and greeted officers with middle fingers and insults instead of compliance. Once in cuffs, she kept up the chaos, yanking at handcuffs, tossing objects, and flat out refusing commands. Christina Slitter was booked into Lee County Jail for fleeing and eluding law enforcement, driving under the influence reckless, driving threatening law enforcement officers. She also earned herself a citation for not wearing a seatbelt, because apparently safety was the only law she really didn't care about that night. From swerving down I-75 to flipping off troopers, Slitter turned a Ford F-150 into her personal demolition derby. Unfortunately for her, reckless driving and rude hand gestures don't beat a box in. On the afternoon of October 20th, 2022, U.S. Marshals requested help from Georgia State Patrol to apprehend a wanted murder suspect from Indiana. The man, identified as 36-year-old Irvin Robertson, was spotted leaving a residence in Gwinnett County and getting into his 2022 Dodge Ram. When troopers attempted a felony stop near Georgia 20 and Stanley Street, Robertson had other ideas and hit the gas.
I gotta get him stopped. Right here.
The chase quickly turned dangerous as Robertson swerved through traffic, driving the wrong way on GA20 and darting through medians. Troopers attempted multiple pit maneuvers, but Robertson managed to counter-steer and keep going, showing total disregard for anyone on the road.
Careful. Just a second, I haven't gone to another street yet. I'm trying to get around all these traffic. He's still on the wrong side of the road. Possible 1050 right here, maybe. Victoria Drive. He's still on the wrong side of the road. Victoria Drive. Coming up to Holly Court. Motorcycle. Samples Road, crossing across Samples Road. 250 Samples.
The pursuit ended at GA-20 and Samples Drive when Robertson ran a red light and crashed into another motorist. After bailing from the Dodge, he sprinted toward a Walgreens parking lot, but quickly realized troopers and U.S. Marshals had him boxed in. With nowhere left to run, Robertson surrendered and was taken into custody without further incident. He was handed over to U.S. Marshals to face his outstanding murder charges in Indiana, charges handled by U.S. Marshal Service, including murder-related charges from Indiana. What began as surveillance in Gwinnett County turned into a high-speed, wrong-way chase that could have ended far worse. Instead, thanks to quick coordination between troopers and U.S. Marshals, Robertson's run ended in a parking lot instead of another state line. On November 4, 2025, troopers with the Florida Highway Patrol were alerted to a stolen 2009 Cadillac sedan barreling southbound on I-75 through Sumter County. When units attempted a traffic stop in Hernando County, the driver had other plans. Instead of slowing down, she mashed the gas and turned the highway into her own high-speed runway.
Gonna be riding on the right shoulder.